This video is going to cover everything we know about the casinos reopening and business going back to some semblance of normalcy right here in Las Vegas. I'm going to go over the governor's plan combined with the Nevada gaming control plan and show you how it all works, and you guys can make an educated decision that's not incredibly biased. One of the things I'm seeing on other Vegas YouTube channels and people in comments of my own videos is some extreme in one way or the other. You have extreme people that think it could open any day now, and then you have extreme negative people on the other side that say, I don't like those other YouTubers saying positive things. Let's be realistic. We need a vaccine and nothing's going to happen until we get one. But the truth is always somewhere in the middle, my friends, and we're going to go over that truth today to the best of our knowledge. It's May 3rd, 2020, and we're going to take a look at where we stand on the governor's plan, plus what the Gaming Control Board is going to have casinos do in order for them to actually open up. My name's Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger, and I don't like to look things in the absolute extreme. There's always a happy medium in the middle that usually has more better information, but it's incredibly hard to find it. Mainstream news channels are promoted heavily by YouTube. You don't go on YouTube, type in Vegas News, and almost ever find my channel. It just doesn't happen. You'll find local news channels, the ABCs, NBCs, CBSs, and Fox channels. You'll also find CNN, Fox, MSNBC talking about Las Vegas, but you don't find the Vegas local because YouTube favors large channels. Possibly they do that so they can make sure that channels like mine aren't spouting craziness and they think those channels are better vetted. But oftentimes those channels are wrong. They can get facts wrong. They don't live here. They don't have the idea of what's actually happening. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for the notifications. If you do that, then YouTube should tell you when I do videos and show you my videos. If you want to be in the Patreon, we're working against the algorithm, so that's all I need you to do. If you want to go ahead, be in the credits, be in the Patreon, see blog posts, photos, and videos I don't do on YouTube, go to Patreon. If you want some merchandise, go over to the merchandise thing. Yes, I'm promoting that right now. Yes, almost everybody's broke, but not everybody, and if you guys can do that, it helps me to continue making daily news videos. Or you can just comment what you think about the governor's plan, what you think of the Gaming Control Board's plan, and I talk about this stuff on my live stream every night, 7:45. So with that, I'm going battling my asthma. I cut all my grass today. That's why I can sit here right now. Or yesterday, I cut all the grass. I've been having an allergy flare-up since yesterday at 12. If you know what that's like, leave it in the comments below. It's no bueno. But Governor Sisolak has a plan. Kinda, maybe, sorta. He talked about it 2 days ago. It's called the Nevada Roadmap to Recovery, and it starts maybe now, or maybe it started, but it definitely starts May 15th, and it has to have all 17 counties in the state of Nevada collectively saying everything's good before we go into the new phase. And during that talk he did, when you could actually understand him because of the audio-video issues, I mean, he's the governor of Nevada. You'd think that if he spent $19 million on a private jet so he could fly between Las Vegas and Reno, he could spend $5,400, some odd, couple $100 on a better setup for streaming. But he said that May 15th is the day we should be going into it. He also said during that live stream that we have a 2 to 3 week wait. What he didn't explain is that we're not overwhelming the hospital system now. Let's make sure when we do open it up after phase 1, we're also not overwhelming the hospital system. But that's the whole point of all this, right? Want to make sure those ICU beds and ventilators aren't maxed to their capacity before we move forward. And then it'll be 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. So I said in my video, May 1st, May 15th, I was wrong. That's okay to be wrong. I would rather be positive on the side of being wrong than being super pessimistic and being right down the line and hating life because of it. So that's what he said. So we're looking at least June 1st, maybe on Memorial Day if phase 1 starts early, to open some of these properties. These properties are itching, ready to go. Most of them have internal plans. A few of them, like the Wynn and the MGM and the Venetian, have released some details. The Wynn with their massive surveillance plan, the Venetian with 800 different points of cleanliness, but it's a little more palatable, and the Treasure Island with Phil Ruffin saying you're going to get hand sanitizer or something, and 1/3 of the rooms will be full. And with that, we have to wait. So what is it going to be? May 24th, maybe? That's Memorial Day weekend, possibly June 1st. And then if it's 3 weeks, possibly June 7th. That's the best we can tell right now, May 3rd, 2020, about when things are going to reopen on that end of things. The casinos, again, are ready to go. It's just an issue of the government and the state saying you're ready to go too. And speaking of that, Well, let's say the governor did say everything can reopen. Well, the Nevada Gaming Control Board, which is the one responsible for allowing you to run a casino with gaming and table games and machines running full blast, they outlined a bunch of points. Now, most of this stuff is just accounting. It's all about licenses, but it's interesting what might have happened in the 40-some-odd days that we've been closed so far. It sounds crazy, but we've been closed for that long. It's going to be 2 months before we open up after all this. The first thing is they have to submit a plan to the appropriate division and enforcement division. There's 2 different divisions. I didn't get into which ones they cover. I imagine it's big mega corporations for one division, like the MGM Resorts, which has nightclubs, entertainment venues, all these kinds of different venues in their casinos. And then you have a second division, which sounds smaller. So I'm going to put that into most likely places like Dottie's, which is a local gaming establishment here. PT's, which is another little small one, or anywhere where they take a bar and shove some slot machines into it and want to turn those slot machines on. They have to submit that 7 days in advance before or as soon as possible after opening, which again leads me to believe that there's a 2-class system when they classify hotels and casinos. The ones that are really big that need to open tomorrow, and they don't have their plan submitted, have to do it as soon as possible, and they haven't said how fast as soon as possible is. Now, we all know that money talks and BS walks and all that kind of stuff, so it's interesting to see that as soon as possible exists as a clause. But it's also important to note that a large casino that employs thousands of people that can at least get 20% of their workforce back might be a little more leeway on the rules than a small little bar that might just need 2 people to run the thing while people are inside having drinks and playing on the multi-denomination machines. So as soon as possible, if not 7 days. They have to address a whole bunch of stuff, and I even omitted about 20 different points from this list. So let's go over this list as quickly as we can so this video isn't 30 minutes long, okay? They have to address the contact person at the property or the company that's responsible for all this stuff, and they have to be accountable to the Gaming Commission to make sure that everything is done. They can submit these things by email. They don't have to be in writing, literally. Email is legal nowadays, just so you guys know. So if you ever had somebody email you something and you wish you had a contract, you technically had one if somebody emailed you and gave you the affirmative to do something. Number 2, reopening dates and times and phased-in dates, meaning that when are you going to reopen your property? What day are you going to open up? If you have a nightclub, what day is the nightclub going to open? If you plan on opening the bar 3 weeks later, what day is that going to open? Again, none of this goes through with social distancing requirements. None of this gaming control stuff is really anything except for the fact that we need people compliant with licenses and make sure that everything's good on the gaming side of things and that you are working with the state in your local jurisdiction. But we'll get to that in a sec. Dates the funds, asthma. Dates the funds in all gaming areas are replenished, meaning that the cashier's cage, the chips, the kiosks, the little payout kiosks, the table areas, all that stuff. When are you going to refill that back full of money? Is it already full? Are you planning on doing that 2 days before opening? Because the worst case scenario would be if a casino opened, didn't have the money to really open, and decided that people were going to gamble, and then they couldn't pay people out. That would be a literal disaster for the casino industry. The Gaming Control Board doesn't allow. It's called breaking the bank. Never really happened in Las Vegas ever before, but there's rumors that it happened at Caesars, and that's why there's a Brahma Shrine temple there, but nobody knows if that's true. Inform the count drop times. So tell the Gaming Control Board when your count drop times are going to be. Are you doing them more frequently? This is just how often you count your money, how much you drop your money. Because, of course, one of the reasons Vegas had Mafia in it was because they were skimming off of the drop. They were doing a take, and now it's very, very controlled in Nevada when those times happen. So the Gaming Commission could anytime audit their books and say, oh, you said you want $1 million? Hey, there's $1 million. We know you're not taking no money off of anything. Inform the dates, backdated drop times that were delayed due to the shutdown. So if anything was delayed during the shutdown, if you had to close your doors on the 17th and you had a bunch of drops that you had to do and you put them in a vault somewhere, you tell us about when you're doing those backdated drop times. You submit that all in writing, if that makes sense to you guys. Verify all liabilities to patrons are that were delayed from closure are performed. So if you had a gaming ticket for some sports that you betted on, yes, I said betted on. You bet on sports. You bet on the Golden Knights to beat this team. You put a $10,000 bet. You won your bet, but you can't get your ticket, you have to and then inform the dates that the liabilities were paid out. So if that person had a ticket, it expired, it was a gaming ticket from something that happened in December or something like that, they're going to be paid. You're going to say that we paid those liabilities to those people. We're good. We don't owe anybody to anybody, even though nobody has any money. The casinos also don't have money because they haven't been operating for the last 40 plus days. Pay or extend payouts affected by the closure and that they are taken care of. Pay or extend the tickets 30 days. Somebody asked me in the live stream once, I have a ticket from the Luxor. It's going to expire on, April 3rd. What do I do? Well, this means that all of those liabilities will be paid. Liabilities are basically debts you owe to people, things that you have to pay out. They're going to extend that 30 days after the governor reopens things. So if the governor reopened things on, say, May 24th, then you're going to have to June 24th in order to go ahead and cash your tickets out. If you had chips that you had to bring home from you on vacation, bring them back to the casino. They have to pay all those things out. And they're going to say when they're going to pay all those things out. That's a good thing, okay? Cash on hand bankroll has a 7-day grace period after the governor says it's okay to open. So let's say you're a casino and you dipped into your cash on hand, you used it for this or that, you now have 7 days to replenish how much cash you say you have on hand after the casino opens grace period. So he opens it up May 24th. I'll just say June 1st because I don't remember how many days are in May. You have till June 8th in order to replenish cash on hand that you might have used during the closure. Why are you using your cash on hand during the closure? I don't know. Maybe you're Phil Ruffin, the guy who brags about having $500 million cash liquid, $3.2 billion value, but you won't pay your employees an extra 2 weeks. Shame on Phil Ruffin. I'm going to say it in this video again. That's what he said at Forbes magazine, so please, lawsuits are not incoming when you said you didn't give any extra 2-week pay and you were waiting for them to get $1,200 checks. Back on topic of hand. If waivers are going for accounting are being used, you have to tell them. So if you have some kind of a special waiver, this is a bookkeeping accounting thing, tell the Nevada Gaming Control Board. They're going to give you a 30-day grace period for people that might have had their licenses expire while they were laid off or fired or terminated or coming back. So if you had somebody and they had a license that expired April 1st, they had to get their license renewed with the state for them to do their job on the gaming floor or anything related to that, then you have a 30-day grace period. You can open them up, hire that employee back, and then no problemo. Those people can be working, and then you can go and reinstate that. They're going to do a one-time grace to renew laid-off employees without you having to do anything, even on a website. So you just submit a form, everybody's back to work. This is good for the Gaming Control Board because they're expediting how fast people can come back to their jobs. So I got to give them credit for that. They could say, nope, we need to have compliance, you need to pay the fee, you need to go to the website. It's going to overwhelm the website. They know that. Unlike the Nevada Unemployment Division, these guys are, it's actually technically the Employment Division. These guys are doing it faster, which is good. Verify modified machines with the state, meaning that if you see those little things of the plexiglass shields that are at the El Dorado, they're looking to install. I think I have something behind me that's alive. That's kind of creepy. Then you have to verify all those different modified machines. So if you put up plexiglass shields, you have to let them know. They have to give the okay for that. None of those machines can be working in a modified type state from what they were before the closure unless the state says they're okay to do so. And you have to go ahead and comply with your state and local COVID policies. That's just obvious. You have to be able to comply. You have to show that your county, your area is okay to operate. They want you to comply with all that. There is like 15 more things, but they were boring watching paint dry accounting issues that I thought, do I put them in? Do I make a 20-minute video? Probably not. So that's everything we know about how the casinos are going to be reopening, when they are going to be reopening. I don't have any dates to tell you this casino opens on that date or that date, but I'm going to look at it from a positive sense that people are working around the clock, behind the scenes, trying to come up with policies that work to get the casinos back open. And that's what's really going to matter to our local economy, getting the casinos back open and making sure that everything's good to go in the end. So what do you think about all that? You tell me in the comments below. And remember, my name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. I like to bring you the news and do the videos, and we talk on live streams at 7:45 p.m. every night. If you want to be in the credits of the video, head on over to Patreon. If you want to chat, go to the Not Leaving Las Vegas Facebook group. Not too shabby for a one-take video today. I'm kind of happy with this one. Like, share, subscribe, leave us a comment. Now's the time in the video where I say 3, 2, 1, click. So 3, 2, 1, and click.